we're experimenting. So what do you think? I feel like if I start with like, hi everyone, this is Donnie, and like, I don't know, like, I guess maybe I can say who you are, what you do. How would you feel as the guest?
I would be like, if I were you, I would do something like, it is Wednesday, February 7th, and we are here today with Carlos NUEHMI. Carlos, how are you feeling today? And then you say it like that, and then you get right into it.
And that's how you would start it. Okay, we'll use that. We'll just go ahead and use that clip and say this is how Donnie would start the podcast.
I mean,
I like that idea.
I'm sure. So at the current moment, I do make my income as a background actor, an actor, and a musician. I have made money on music, so I can legally say that I am a paid musician. So
Cool.
but I'd like it to be mostly from music. So I'm putting that out there, manifesting that this year I'm going to be able to say that. Full stop.
I love that. So if that's the case, then that means that right now it's just not where you want it to be, right? With music and income mixing together. Mm-hmm. So right now your main source would be background acting? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never like dabbled.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Obviously I'm also a background actor. I'm kind of on a similar boat.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to swing big and just start making moves and start working. And yeah, literally that's why we're here. So yeah, I get you. I totally get you. Let me wind it back a little bit on what background acting even is. So there's actors that you know, like famous actors, right? Let's say Jennifer Lawrence, I don't know.
We love her.
Actor, right? And then there's actors in the background and in almost every scene, or some scenes I should say, I guess, that you see but don't have lines. Like you don't hear them or anything. Maybe you hear like chatter or whatever, but that's not even them. We don't get to really speak. It's just like to fill the space, to fill the world. And that's what we are. We're in the back, okay? Still important, because if you see them in the back, like not acting the way that in the world it should be, it throws off the show. You're kind of like, what?
And if they weren't there at all, everybody would look crazy.
So we're important.
Vital.
We are important.
Dare I say, absolutely necessary.
Yes. So that's what background acting is. And the way that it works, as far as my experience, I should say first, is there's like a casting network or someone's out there being like, we need somebody for this show to be a college student or something, and then they send out like a bunch of like emails or requests for people to like come. It's not really apply or audition or anything like that. It's more like, are you available? Like, can we use you?
Yeah.
If you fit the look.
We like your look, 18. You look like you could be a high school kid. Let's bring you on.
Right.
Shave your face.
Whatever it is. Exactly.
Come to set. Be on time.
You get one of those and you say yes or no, whatever. Say you say yes, and they get you. You're hired for this job. Then they send you details. Sometimes it's like super like sometimes you'll get it a week before, but often I get it like 2 days before, or the day before, like whatever.
Like at 10 p.m. when you're already sleeping, and you wake up and you're like, oh, shit.
Like I gotta go in an hour, and I gotta get all this shit ready. So yes, the way that the scheduling works is all over the place. It's not like 9 to 5 or whatever. It's not structured in a way where you can predict what's going to happen with your schedule.
But you can predict the pay a little bit, because you know at least you're going to get 8 hours of pay, that's why I can't understand how people can complain about it.
Yes.
Especially when they're under that amount. Like, you're 6 hours in, you're complaining, you're already getting paid for 8 hours of work. No matter what, if we left right now, you still get that money. Like, that guarantee is like enough for me to like be able to say that I could do that as a living if you get enough.
Yeah, so I agree. Like there's a lot of good things in that sense that like, yeah, if you work for less than 8 hours, you still get paid 8 hours. So that's good, right?
Amazing. That's how it should be for every job. I'm sorry.
Honestly. But then there's like a lot of reasons for you to just be like, I gotta go home. And this one, you can't do that. So, I mean, you could, but the thing is then you get points off of, like, as in, like, people can start marking you as, like, we don't want this person to come anymore. I don't know if you've had experience with that.
I mean, I've never done it. I've never.
But I the only thing with, like, working this, it's the inconsistency that you can't have it be real. In my opinion, it's not really that possible to make it as a actual, like, a living type of thing.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, it was.
I joined after, so.
Yeah, I joined in like 2018, and I was told that it was like the best time. 2018, 2019, amazing. I would work like 5 days a week, every single week. Yeah. I had my own place in Van Nuys, no help, no nothing, and it was great.
Nice.
So, but not anymore, because not only are there a lot more people that are trying to do it, because people found out about it and they're like, oh wait, I don't have to like, flip patties anymore. I can just like sit around and like talk to people and hang out like on set with like huge people. Like, yeah, let me do that. Mm-hmm. So it's oversaturated now. That, and there's less work because they're shooting in so many different places now. It's not just Los Angeles. We got Atlanta, and my hometown, Buffalo. They have a blossoming film community, so people are opting to just stay where they are and make movies where they are, because anybody with an iPhone can now make movies. It's easy. It's crazy. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It gives more people more opportunities for the real creative people of the world to share their voices. You don't have to be in LA. Yeah,
I also think that's a great thing for sure. It does make it kind of hard though for folks who are relying on it.
For sure. That means we just need to work harder.
And you also got to just switch up your survival plan.
Mentality.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how background acting basically works. My sister, actually, because she also does some here and there, her first experience was like this 14 to 16 hour day. She did something super, like, I'm gonna say silly to not say dumb. But the day before, I remember being like, it was late. It was like really late, like 3 a.m. or something. And I remember being like, girl, like, don't you have work tomorrow? And she was like, yeah. I was like, I think you should go to sleep. And she was like, nah, it's okay. Like, because we were having fun. We were like watching a movie. We were doing stuff. And she was like, it's okay. And I don't think she'd ever been to one before. I think that was her first one. Yeah. Oh, no. And she's, I mean, you've, I'm sure, done that before where you stay up all night. She didn't realize it was going to be a 14-hour day. And then they were going to call her back the next day, and it was going to be another 14-hour day or whatever. And she was miserable because, like, it was also like one of those where you were on set. It wasn't like where you were just like on and holding.
And it's non-union.
And it was non-union. So less pay, less motivation.
And bad crafty. They're going to put some Cheez-Its, some donuts, and
mind you, she doesn't even know that she can get those things or anything because it's her first day. So I'm sure like she figured it out, but there was a lot that just like she didn't like it. And so like her first perception of what background acting was like, fuck. And so like I think since then she wasn't as like motivated to go do them or like as happy. And in fact, one time we both went together to do a show or something. And it was the funniest thing. I tell this story because to me it's just so ridiculous. Like, we were in the car and we were early, and so we kind of like took a quick nap in the car before we went in. And then we went, and when we were going into I think it was Warner Bros. Yeah, to check in. She was already like, oh my God, like, do you know how long it's going to be? And I'm like, girl, we don't know how long it's going to be. She was already like, I want to be home, like not feeling it. We got to holding. She was just like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, she was like super like, well. It was funny because she was just complaining the whole time, right?
Understandable.
And I told her too. I was laughing at her because I was like, we knew the night before. We knew when we got here, like what we're doing, all of that. And it's like, we're not doing anything, dude. Like, and also I was like, you can bring whatever you want. Like, so there's a place where you like where it's called holding, for those who don't know.
Best place on earth.
It could do with better chairs, but you can bring your own chair if you really wanted to. Whatever.
I used to have my own chair, and I lost it on a set. And I was too lazy to go get it.
It's still good, though. The whole thing's a great spot. It's like, it's literally, you're just there until they need you, until the production needs you, the production team needs you.
I don't know how many times I've played like Mario Party or Mario Kart in holding with my friends.
You could literally do anything.
Anything. Bring your laptop, you can work on other stuff. That's like one of the big draws for me to it, was like I can work on music while I'm there. I could bring my laptop, yes. I put it in my secure bag with a little lock on it, make sure nobody steals it.
Right.
People do steal shit on set because they let anybody into this job. That's the worst part. They let anybody into this job. Terrifying.
I mean, it's also hard to figure out who would and wouldn't steal your shit. You know what I mean? Like as a person who's hiring.
Yeah, you have to like have a little bit of discernment, like on whether or not you should be bringing it to, because if it's like a 600 person call, 600 people can bring anything they want in their backpacks. That's terrifying in and of itself. Yeah. But like they could also, 600 people could hide anything in their backpacks too, and you ain't getting your shit back. I was on a set where 6 MacBooks and iPads like in total were stolen.
What?
It was messed up. They like stopped everything and they were like, all right, a whole bunch of people just got their shit stolen because it was outside. They had it like outside of a bowling alley in like Glendale or Pasadena or something.
I hate when they do that. Like when
no security.
Or even like one security for all these people's shit, and it's like we're in public. How do you know
what bag that person goes to? Do you remember they go to the pink backpack, or because if they went to the black backpack and they went to the pink backpack, like do they know? They don't know.
Not only that, but like if you're out in like public and there's people like pedestrians, you know what I mean?
It was literally by the sidewalk.
It's like, how are you gonna know as a security or whatever whether like someone could be like, oh, I'm working on this. And that's all you need. You just walk up and grab things. So I think I agree where it's like when it's those kind of things, I'm super sketched out about leaving shit.
You don't even bring it out at that point. Like you might, if you brought it, that's fine. Just don't bring it, because if the people see that you have it, then
they're gonna remember
if somebody
your bag.
Was going to steal it, they're gonna steal it. Scary, horrible.
But when you're in a more safer spot, like in a studio, maybe like less people.
Studio, I'll always bring my laptop because usually we're just sitting there, have your own little room or whatever, and
Also, it's easier to feel like if someone were to steal something there, like everyone could stop and be like, someone's shit got stolen. We need to figure out who got it. Like we'll give you time or whatever. But it's easier to like feel like something can be done about it. Yeah. But yeah, I think I like that too, where you can bring stuff and work on things or
be productive while you're getting paid.
Exactly.
It's a magnificent job, and that's why I find it hard to complain while I'm there. If I'm cold or like it's super hot and they're making us wear winter coats and stuff, that's kind of like because like they won't let you take it off, or they won't let you put something on like in between takes. That's a little excessive. But anything else.
No, I agree. There are for sure parts where reasons. I'm like, I get complaining. I understand it.
If a PA is being like so rude, you are just getting completely disrespected by the entire crew.
Over them doing the job wrong. You know what I mean? One of the worst things, it's like I get everyone's stressed, so I don't say anything. And I know it's like, whatever. It's just one day. People are... I hate when productions are so like messy. Like they're not like organized, and you know it happens. But it's like they do something wrong, and then they look at you. You're supposed to be there. It's like who was supposed to tell me?
I've had 3 other people tell me that I'm supposed to go that way, this way, and that way. So which way do I go?
Exactly. And then they're like, I said there, and it's like,
well, they told me there. Who's in charge? Like,
exactly.
Ultimately, because that person's gonna yell at me too if I don't do what they want me to do.
Dude, yeah.
There's a little bit of lack of communication sometimes. But I can't even imagine running my own production like that. So you really just have to trust your people. Trust who you're hiring.
I agree. I think there's been for sure some jobs that I've been at where everything's smooth. Like everyone knows what they're doing. Timing is right. Like people are even happy to like really get things going, and it's like nice. But I've for sure had like some sloppy ass like jobs where it's like no one's on the same page. Everyone's frustrated. Not a single person's like everyone. Like there's like so many people that say that they're the ones that are in charge, but it's like you're not doing anything to organize.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is making everything harder, longer. You're wasting everyone's money.
For real.
Yeah, those are the worst. But it's also, it's interesting because the way it works, it's like, you have to have all sorts of different like groups, right? Do you know like the different groups, like grips, lighting. That's what we say. That's it. Wait, how was your first
It was like
job?
I think it's called For the People. There was only like 10 of us, so I think that's what they had to like make us union. I don't know if that show ever came out. Just walked by some like offices and just got paid for 8 hours. It was awesome.
Nice.
It's so amazing.
That's a good intro to the job, and that's probably what you were like, okay.
And then I stayed with it and went through absolute hell for years.
Yeah, it happens.
Still can't complain, but there were some bad ones. What was like the worst set and best set you've ever been on? Doesn't have to be background.
The best set was, well, I did stand-in work for, I don't know if I can, well, it's already out, for Transformers, the new one.
Ooh, and the Rise of the Beasts?
Yeah. This is the look, actually, that I had. I think I was 1 inch taller than him.
Oh, so you had to like...
So yeah, there was moments where I had to like...
Go squat.
Yeah. I was like, I'm 5'10", and they're like, no, you're not. I was like, I'm 5'10". I measured myself, but I guess maybe with the shoes, since it adds an inch, maybe I'm supposed to be saying I'm 5'11". I don't know.
You said I'm taller than you.
You are.
I'm 5'9".
You are not.
I am 5'9".
We will check that after. I like my height.
I want to be like 4'11", 4'4".
Why?
I just want to be so small. I don't know.
Let's unpack that.
How does that make you feel?
Why do you want to be small?
I don't know. I want to fit in someone's pocket. I want to be able to just like hide. Yeah.
Maybe let's not unpack. I'm not a therapist.
No, we shouldn't do this. I used to try to just fit in really small spaces as a kid, and like that was like my comfort area.
You just like being wrapped.
Yeah.
Like being.
Yeah, I like being able to hide if I want to. Like, and just like, I'm a Cancer, so I think it's like the crab show kind of thing. I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I have.
Well, I like, for example, I like sleeping with like heaviness on me, you know what I mean? And I like the pressure of it. So not all the time, but I do like that kind of thing. So I get like a sensory wise, like if you want to be like engulfed by something, that makes you feel safe
just
too.
A really small closet. I'm ready to go back in. Just a little like the Coraline door and just.
I get it. Yeah, just nice and squeeze into any crevice.
I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I have, but this is completely off topic.
It's cool. We're learning about you, so it's not really.
Oh my god. Did we finish everything on background? I feel like we talked enough about it.
Yes.
Bless it. It's amazing. Highly recommend that everyone stay very far away from it so that we can get more work.
What she said. When you are with yourself, when you're trying to maybe comfort yourself or like just give you like your space, your time, what do you do?
Well, what I'd like to be doing is making.
No. What do you do?
I know. I'm gonna get to that. I'm right really immediately after. Immediately after. I'd like to be being productive, and I'd like to make music because that is where I am the most happy and I feel the most calm. But I feel like when I get right into it, I kind of neglect other things, and then it'll be 12 hours later, my eyes are red, my face is like dry, my lips are cracked because like I didn't do any self-care. So what I do instead is like I do self-care for like honestly like 2-3 hours. I'll just like really relax, get into it, do some meditation, shower, cleanse, do a little hair mask, do all my little tretinoin and moisturizer, get everything out nice and right and tight, and then if I'm feeling creative, I get into the studio and then just make whatever comes to my mind or work on other past projects and stuff. But that, or I'll just binge watch some show or movies that I haven't seen on my watch list or something. Or I go to the movies. I have the AMC A list. I don't know do you have it? You need to get it. $25 a month, so it's $15 more than that. 3 movies a week.
A week?
A week.
But do they collect? You know what I mean?
It resets every Thursday. So I could watch 2 movies today. Sorry, it resets every Friday. Thursday's the last day. I could watch 2 movies tonight and another one tomorrow. I can watch all IMAX, all Dolby, which is like the highest end viewing experience right now, which is like, they're like $28. So the ticket for that movie is already more expensive than the subscription that you're paying for. And I can watch it 3 times, 4 times a month. So I can get 12 movies a month at the highest end. Any price, doesn't matter how expensive it is, for $25.
That is a pretty good deal.
It's a great deal. And AMC's amazing because we have Nicole Kidman serenades us every single time.
With there's like the she goes to the Yeah, that's true. I mean, it sounds like you're convincing me.
I highly recommend it. I think we should go tonight.
I can't tonight.
Slay.
Moving on. Enough about AMC. Let's see, where were we at? What do you do on your free time? Okay, cool. Your routine. I wanted to ask you about that. So you do your face. You basically replenish yourself.
Yeah, kind of. I just strip everything that was on my face throughout the day, and I'll wash it with hydrating, gentle cleansers, not too exfoliating, and then I'll usually do like it depends. I'll do like an exfoliator night. I put mandelic acid on my face and then moisturizer. Mandelic acid's just like a chemical exfoliant, but it's one of the ones with bigger molecules, so it only does the surface, doesn't go too deep into it. It's for like people with sensitive skin. And then I'll moisturize. And
you got sensitive skin?
I do have very sensitive skin.
You did mention you have to use a lot of sunscreen.
Yes, because of the tretinoin, I think. Like, if you use a retinol, like, it makes your skin more sensitive to the sun. So, but the retinol, I don't have any, like, if I use it consistently, I don't have any, like, breakouts, no acne, no nothing. Like, nice. It just completely clears my skin. So I think that I'd rather...
It's like worth it.
I'd rather have to put sunscreen on every single day, but everybody should be putting sunscreen on.
Either way, yeah.
Anyways, because the sun is our friend, but she don't care about your feelings. She don't care about your skin. She doesn't. She's just here to keep you warm.
Well, actually, now that you bring this up, let's talk about the next thing, which is relationships and how you build them. Okay. You mentioned kids, so let's just go off of that. You said you don't want kids?
No.
Not as of now?
Not as of right now. You?
No. Yeah. I don't think I ever will, to be honest.
I want to pass on my DNA, at least. If anything, I'd adopt, because there's kids that are just...
waiting for that?
Waiting for a loving family, and if you can give that to them, like, why would you bring another child into this world if you could just go and like help one out that's already here?
I will say I understand why people would want to, because, you know, the feeling, it's like a fantasy too, but also the feeling of passing on who you were, you know, cloning yourself in a sense.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Nobody needs my DNA. We could end it here. I'm like I said, never going to say never, but like that kid's going to have problems.
I feel the same way about me. I'm like, I honestly don't think I need another version of me out there. And I'm also like, this shit hurts. Like, being here hurts. I don't know if I want to, like...
inflict that upon somebody else.
You know? So I'm like... yeah. I'm okay. Mm-hmm. But...
we're good.
Once I'm rich as fuck, like millionaire status, I'm like, I guess I'll double guess it or think about it. Because then I'll have, like... resources to provide so that this kid could possibly, I'm going to say possibly, find its way into happiness.
You'd be a great dad. You'd give the kid the best life. I think I would be a great dad.
But I also think that there's a lot of things that are out of my control that will affect that thing, that living creature.
DNA being one of those things.
Yeah.
And the current state of the world at that time, too. Yeah.
As far as kids go. But no kids for now. Right now, how do you build relationships? Actually, I'll start with this first question. Are you monogamous or not monogamous?
I don't think that I've explored it enough to, like, know exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, the fantasy of having one person be your person is lovely, but if the person that I'm in love with is wanting to experience other people, like, I would never want to keep that from them because I care about them. So I would be absolutely open to experiencing that, and I'm sure I'd have a lot of fun too. So I'm open, but I've not experienced one. The same with, like, it's like women. Like, I've never been with a woman, so I don't know if I would be a bisexual person until I try it. I don't really have, like, the desire to, but I'm not gonna knock it. So that's why I just say that I'm queer. Like, I don't know, but I know that I'm in that. So if monogamy is a spectrum too, I don't really know if it's not. But your feelings on it can be.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, as in whether or not you want to try it is. Yeah.
So I think I'm neutral to it. I'm open to it, and maybe leaning more towards being 100% okay with it, but...
Yeah, I get you. I think the reason I said it's not, by the way, for a spectrum for monogamy or not monogamy is I think non-monogamy is. You know what I mean? Like, there's a wide range of ways to, like, go about it. Monogamy, that you can still, like, there's a lot of ways to build relationships within monogamy, but I think it's, like, the general idea is still, like, one in one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's still, like, the base of everything.
But there's, like, swingers and stuff, and the people who bring in other people, like, but they're still, like, just with each other.
See, I don't think that's monogamy anymore, though.
No.
Because...
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like a spectrum kind of thing.
Because then it's not monogamy. You get me?
But, like, what's in between? Like, let's say if someone was just, like, trying to bring in somebody sexually to their relationship, but not...
They're open.
Explicitly, like, romantically...
They're open. There's, like, a lot of terms. There's a lot of terms that come in, but it doesn't. Monogamy is you and that one person. If you deviate from that, you're not monogamous.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But here's the thing.
Because, like, I would love to have experiences with other people and my partner if that's what they wanted to.
Okay.
Like, and I have.
We're discovering things.
Great. Good to know.
Yeah.
Like, you seem to know, like, the definition better than me, so I don't know. I've never really explored it.
I will say I'm not a full
blown.
Yeah, I'm not here with all the terms and all of the definitions and, like, a full, like, list of. Yeah. There are plenty of people that you could follow, and maybe I'll post it with this, that will give a lot of information on polyamory and non-monogamy and relationship anarchy, all these things. I'm using what I know of, like, my experiences and what I've learned from those people too.
Yeah.
But yes, basically, non-monogamy is anything outside of that, right?
Okay.
Although here's where I get frustrated personally in the world is a lot of monogamous people aren't actually monogamous. They like the fantasy and therefore they say so.
And they cheat on their partners.
Well, not even that. Going back to what you said, where, like, you want to bring another person in, right? They might still say, like, they're monogamous, but technically speaking, because you're bringing in a new dynamic, you're not, you know what I mean? And it's better, like, you don't have to. If nothing's wrong with your relationship, don't change anything, you know what I mean? Or you don't have to talk about things. But personally, communication is super important. And, like, just learning, like, hey, you know,
baseline.
Yeah, like, we're inviting a new person, that changes the monogamy that we're doing, you know what? Like, it's not me and you anymore. It's me, you, and this person.
I guess I haven't heard I've heard it, but, like, I guess I didn't, like, really think about, like, the term non-monogamous, because usually you just hear polyamorous and monogamous. But yeah, I guess that spectrum that I was thinking of is just under the umbrella of non-monogamy because it's not monogamy.
Yes.
Understand?
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Math.
I think it is cool when you see that, because it is like, yeah, you're in that spectrum, but like you said, you maybe like are more towards like, I want a person, and then like you're open to conversation and open to change and open to this and that.
Yeah, I think that's a very important conversation to have, like right at the start. Like you need to know if the person is like trying to be involved with you in any sort of romantic or even sexual aspect. Like, what am I to you? What do you want me to be? Like, do you know yet, or are you still figuring this out? Because I'm willing to go with the flow, try it out. I'll fit into your schedule if you fit into mine.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about that, but right now, like, do you have any relationships that are like, I'm going to say romantic / you know what I'm talking about? Like in that world, I categorize them as like romantic / sexual, because that's kind of like the big parts that turn it into like this different type of relationship. Where like, for example, if I was monogamous, it would be that one person, right? Since I'm not, it's not like that. But yeah, do you have any like of those kind of relationships going on right now?
Just with myself, I am focusing on me and trying to learn how I need to be loved, because I feel like for a while I was just kind of putting everyone else's priorities for affection in front of mine and giving myself fully and completely without getting anything in return. So I've acknowledged it, I'm putting a stop to it, and I'm just going to not wait for somebody to come that fits in, but kind of like I'm totally 100% ready to be swept off my feet if somebody knows who I am and really wants that. But I need to know that they want that. So I need to know that what I want first before I can know if they want me. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It makes sense for sure. It for sure makes sense. And I think that's a smart thing to do, I think, for a lot of people in general. Like, how, in my opinion, it's like, how are you going to know how you want someone to love you when you don't know what that is? You know, like, how do you not know what you want? How do you not know, like, the way you want to be loved? Yeah. And a lot of people don't, you know what I mean? So I think it's really cool that you're, like, taking the time to really figure that out. I know it can be very difficult, especially if you don't practice. Yeah.
It's lonely. That too. But once you realize that like you're never alone because you're with yourself, it kind of just hold yourself. I don't give a how sad that sounds, because I've loved myself better than anybody else has ever. So to all of them, bye. Yeah. I'm gonna take care of myself until somebody is willing to do the exact same and give me the exact same that I'm giving. I'm ready to jump back in, if that makes sense. I've been single for 4 years, and yeah. Oh.
That's okay.
How?
We can finish this section and then we'll use my phone.
SD card full? That's so rude. Okay.
Okay, let's just jump into...
We'll jump right into it.
We had technical difficulties, as y'all know at this point. But we're back at it, and we stopped talking about the romantic, sexual, intimate type of relationships that we built, or you built, and how you do it, just because the universe said that's enough for that.
I literally shut everything down. I broke my ring light.
Yeah, I was like, stop.
I said, shut up.
So we'll move on.
We're moving on.
But the next question in that area is, how do you build other relationships, like platonic friendships and other types of friendships, however you make stuff?
Yeah. It's just, I like to start off with honesty and transparency. It's just
with all your relationships, honesty, transparency, very important.
The only ones that have worked in my life, that's the mentality that we go in.
Do you mean like the ones that you still have, like the friendships you still have?
Yeah. Do you do similar things? Like,
absolutely.
What is your process of eliminating people who are not on your wavelength?
I mean, well, one thing I've learned is that there's so many different ways of communicating, and I don't try to frustrate myself over people needing to communicate the way I do, even though I think like I have an efficient way of doing it, whatever. I know everyone's different, and some people don't like to be as verbal, whatever. I like to build things with people who like, engage more. There's more equal feelings in certain aspects of our relationship. There's communication, as in like if something's off, one of us can bring it up and we can talk about it. Basically, if we can build a relationship together, then it's gonna form.
Yeah.
And then there's honesty with like, for example, when I came up to you and I was like, I'm here to do work. You know what I mean? I'm like, if someone can come up to me and just express how they want, what they want, how they feel in the moment.
No one's ever done that. And I was like, okay, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate knowing right off the bat that you're somebody who has aspirations and you're not trying to just kind of sit idly by while your life happens to you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm very much right now specifically to, I'm like, next thing. We got to do things. We got to fucking do things.
And we have been. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Step by step, baby steps. Here we are.
Just... but yeah, I do like that where it's like we're being honest, right? You're coming up with like, this is how I feel, this is what I want. Even if you're not sure, at least like knowing kind of where you're at is nice.
Yeah.
And talking. That's how I do it. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is your passion. What is your passion, or the thing that drives you to not just exist, but like to really move forward in your life?
It's a complex web of little things, but I think at the center, I just want to share light. I'm going to expand upon this.
Yeah, please do.
And I mean by that as in light could be information, emotion. Yeah, knowledge is a huge part of it. And I think that that's the light. Like, I want to show people what I've learned in this life so that they don't have to go so deep in the darkness, because I do believe that you have to experience the bad to appreciate the good, but I don't think it has to be that bad. And a lot of people get really, really, really far away from themselves, and I just want to bring them back to that light that I know that they probably want to be in, and that extends to the arts mostly. I do that in relationships as well, though. So that's another branch of this web. I just want to give what I have, but I do that like with music mostly, and that's a huge way for me to bring that to people.
Do you mean you want to teach people? Do you want to teach people certain things so that they don't like get into like maybe depression or something like that, or like too negative of a space or something? Are you trying to like be a teacher in a sense?
Yeah, in like a I don't know what the word is, but
or like a leader, you know what I mean? That like someone follows and like learns through their experiences in that kind of way.
The name Donald, actually, I don't know. I've had this little card that it said it means like proud ruler, a world leader. And that's my birth name, even though I go by Donnie, and I don't really like the name Donald. Anyways, that's funny because that's what that means. I feel like the universe is pushing me to be a leader, even though like it's more comfortable to be a follower. Like, it's kind of cozy over here, but also at a certain point you're like, actually, it's not that comfortable, and like the room is on fire, and I need to do something about it because the earth is dying. I need to share what I know to people. So in that sense, yeah, like I do want to lead. the next wave of people making change. And I think that the only way that I know how to do that right now is the arts. And I want to use that as like a way to spread my voice to as many people as possible. Because I do believe that I have a good message to share, and I'm not trying to like ruin people's lives like some people do when they want to get in power. Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like you could do every day and it satisfies that passion inside you? Maybe not every day, but like what could you do? Like,
well, if you were going through something
that I can relate with your music.
Yeah. And if I showed you a different perspective on it, and or even it just made you feel less alone, and it made you go, okay, he went through something that I went through, and he's doing something about it.
I get it.
He created something
to share like his feelings, and maybe I can share my feelings the way that he did using whatever I can.
It's a domino effect.
I see what you mean.
That's the spreading light thing.
Yeah, it's like if I can do it, you can do it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And then if I give that to them, then they give it to somebody else, and it just spreads.
I get you now.
Like the evil is spreading.
That's where the light you're talking about.
Yeah, evil is spreading faster than the good. So we need to like step up our game, kind of thing. We need to be that next wave to make change here. Otherwise, everything's just going to keep going to shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you mean.
So any little impact that you could have on somebody, like someone said they like watched my like TikTok live and like one of my performances, and they said that it like brought them like out of like a major like depression. They were done. They wanted to like leave
themselves.
Yeah, and like for them to tell me that like I like pulled them out of that. I didn't even interact with them. All I did was share my music, and I sang. Maybe I did. I don't know. Right. They reached out to let me know that, and I feel like at that point, that's like I could probably die happy and like feel.
That's what you want to do. That's part of the passion that you're talking about.
That's the
spreading
light.
That light.
Mm-hmm.
That light that pulls people from. I got you. I get the metaphors.
It's amazing. It's
cool.
Amazing, and I want to keep doing that because I know that if like that was like the bare bones of what I plan to be doing, like all the music, I've created hundreds of songs that I just haven't shared with anybody. If that can do that, just one TikTok live, like I can't imagine like if I could reach millions of people, like what that effect is going to be. And I want to be a good voice in pop music and just spread that light.
Okay. Cool.
That's what I'm passionate about.
So you said you're doing music now, but at some point you'd like to use different outlets to do this, right? And I'm assuming like it's in the art world. And then maybe one day branching out of that?
Yes. One of my life goals is to create like a foundation / place for artists that come to Los Angeles that have a voice, that have that drive, that really want to, but then they like just can't do it. Either they didn't get the privilege of having classes to learn the craft that they're inspired by. Because like I've been teaching myself music for 14 years. I didn't get to take any classes. YouTube was my class. I would have probably gotten here so much faster if I would have had a place to go that somebody wanted to teach me. And like I want to create a place for
others,
especially
the younger
like,
version of you.
Yeah,
basically.
Especially queer and marginalized groups, so that they can come learn, even have housing for the homeless, like youth and whatnot. Anybody who just has a drive to create.
Bringing it back to music, and this is probably my last question for you.
Okay.
Why pop? And is there a specific thing in pop?
I love pop music. I have a very strong affinity for it. I don't know how to explain it, Pop is just a feeling. Actually, there's a girl named Poppy who has a song called Pop Music, I think, and she talks about this. I need to look up the lyrics.
Check it out. You can check it out.
Poppy, Pop Music. It's like from one of her first songs. And she said, I think she says, pop is when you hear a sound and you like don't know what it is, but you kind of like it. Like,
interesting.
So when you're listening to music on the radio and you're kind of like, you just like it. You're like, I like this song by Dua Lipa. And then you go and listen to what she's actually saying, and she might be talking about something that's like way, way deeper than the surface level that you have. I love to create double entendres in pop music and make it sound like, I'm just talking about a boy and a breakup or a love song. In reality, I'm talking about something completely different, but I also am still talking about that. I'm giving them on the surface level bland pop music or fun pop music or a bop or whatever. And then if the listener actually really wants to get deep in the lore, there's shit going on that makes you think a little bit more if you have that self-awareness to pick it up. And I love that pop music has the ability. I mean, I'm sure all genres have the ability to do that, but I don't know. I love the pop structures. I like a good catchy hook, and it's just fun. Pop music is just fun.
Get down right to it. It's just fun too.
It's just fun.
It
brings people together. At the clubs, everyone sings the songs that they know, and they're like, "Oh, this is my song," and it's usually pop music. And I don't know. I want to be able to do that and have people just singing things that they think they know what they're saying, but in reality, they're spreading like beautiful, very important messages. Like when we speak, we manifest. So if they're singing, they're manifesting that too. So you got to be careful what you write.
Yeah, I get that. Cool.
But dark music is fun too.
Yeah, you can turn that popular too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. Thank you very much for sharing.
Of course.
Yeah, I feel like I got to know you a little bit more, and now other people might get that chance too.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
On your show. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this experience too. Really, truly. I don't know how to end it other than that thank you. So maybe just a goodbye to the camera.
That's it. That's all we need. Thank you. Spread light.